Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream. Today, Ron Nicoletti along with Samantha Perry. Samantha, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning.
Good morning. She's speaking different languages to me. I like that this afternoon. What a beautiful day here in South Florida. Fast main track, firm turf course, all weather to Peter. We actually have 6 races on the dirt today.
Yeah, it'll be a very exciting day.
Yeah, and we got $1.2 million in the Rainbow Six jackpot guarantee. Races 5 through 10 with this 5-race card. Boy, it's getting up there. Yesterday was pretty exciting, but they did not get it. So 1.2, seeing how long it'll last before somebody out there can become a millionaire.
Yeah, but everybody wants to be a millionaire for sure.
So let's get right to the card today. And Brian put together an early pick 5 ticket. So we'll take a look at it, see what Brian is up to. And he's got some coverage. We'll talk there. Let's see who's he singling Papa Cats in race number 2. He's got coverage in race number 3. And that other single he's got is the 3 in race 4. That's Summer Cause, and then he's got lots of coverage. And that's a wide open race there.
Yeah.
I got my long shot in there, which he did not use, and it's a little bit of a tough one. But I just watched that horse last time. I had a lot of trouble. We'll talk about when we get to that. Getting back to our first race, a mile on the turf, maiden claiming 3-year-olds. We did have a couple of scratches of the 8 and 14. Please note the 13 is going to get in and run in this first race. So a nice full field to kick off the day on the turf. What'd you go with?
I landed with the 4 on top, Red's Revenge. This is a horse that he made his first out on the grass going 2 turns last time, and it was a really decent effort, too, for the Phil Antonucci barn. I think this horse, with a race under his belt already, it's hard to ask a horse first time going 2 turns, and he was pretty effective at it. I think with a nice trip, Irad's back on again today. There's a lot of things to like about him, Ron.
Yeah, Irad wasn't here yesterday, but more or less we saw him on Friday. He had 5 winners, including the last race. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. I had the same for all the reasons you just mentioned. But we got a stat here that Brian found on Red's Revenge on Phil Antonacci. He's only 14%, 4 for 29, 14% with turf roots over the past 2 years. But, he does win, and I think this is the logical horse. I think I picked him last time, too, when he first came in. So in second, we got Triple Starter stretching out to the mile. He rallied to finish third. He was the favorite that day.
Yeah, he was. And a bit of a spotty horse as well, but I'm willing to give him another shot like you are, Ron, for a second this time around. I think Kelly Breen's just really starting to get to the bottom of him. It's going to take him a little bit, but when this horse ran 2 turns at Belmont and Aqueduct meet, he was very impressive. He ran a really good number that day, although it was a 5th place finish. It was still impressive.
And Paco Lopez had a multiple win day yesterday, so he's running good form. Now I went with Holiday Fantasy, and you went with the number 3, Love Spell. But I think these two, the 4 and 7, might be where this race goes, and I think Brian used both of those on his ticket. So we'll go to race number 2 this afternoon, and very few scratches on the card that really affect the card today. And one of them is the 2 Valiant Miss. This is 6 furlongs, maiden claiming 4 and up, $12,500. And Valiant Miss, as I said, has been declared out of the race. Did you go with Papa Cats?
I did.
So did I.
Yep, this is my last time with him. It really is.
I think you said that yesterday.
I did, yeah. So this is that's my single starting off this early pick 4 ticket. Going 3 deep in the third, the 7 is my top selection. Grant Andrews coming off a little bit of a layoff. Race 4, a mile and an 1/8. That's a tricky distance there. Sergeant Pepper on top for me. Going to give him another go. And in race 5, the 8 is my top pick. Mega City, $9. Punch it twice or not at all.
Yeah, Mega City's the one to beat. Now, like I said, I got my long shot in there, but, on paper, that's the one to beat.
Yep.
Getting back, Papa Cats is a reclaim by Bill Theranos. Boys, that barn been going good. Wheels back, rallied to finish second as the favorite, so this barn knows it. I read a tease in the saddle.
Yep, and he was aboard last time. And this horse has just played a musical Barnes, and but he's still been very consistent. And he's only had 4 outs, so there are some others in this race that have 17 outs and haven't sealed the deal yet. So I think he's the logical horse.
Number 7, Super Gremlin, has license to improve after returning from that 6-month layoff to finish third behind Papa Cats. Kathleen O'Connell just 4 wins away of becoming the all-time female leading trainer in North America.
It's a very impressive accomplishment just in general. It's a tough game, and I mean, hats off to her whenever she hits it, because it's just a matter of when, not if, with this. Yep, and Super Gremlin, this could be the horse that upsets the 6 Papa Cats here. I think this is really the only other horse in the spot that looks like he has some talent.
Yeah, and Corporate Affair, we got the same super up there. We'll try to stretch his speed to the wire. He showed the early, he was on the early pace. We can going to have Lionel Reyes in the saddle today, so logical horses in there. Race number 3 this afternoon. This is a nice race here, and this one is a mile. Claim is 4 and up, 9 winners of 3 in life, 12.5 down to $10,000. And we'll start with your horse. This is one of your singles, I believe, Grand Andrews.
Yeah, Grand Andrews coming off a little bit of a layoff. Safi Joseph got this horse last time in October. It was claimed from trainer Daniel Pita here. I like that they've given this horse a little bit of time. He's a fresh horse coming into this race here. He's solid at this 1-turn, 1-mile distance, and I think he deserves a shot. And Safi Joseph is just very good at getting horses in spots like this.
Well, I read better. Have a nice day. I just realized I picked him to win the first 3 races today, and he's on the number 9 that's never satisfied. It goes to the Victor Barboza Jr. barn after the Claim. He's responded to the drop down in competition. It was much the best that day against those 12.5 2 lifetime claimers, going 6.5. You know how the barn is good. First off the Claim, 21%. We don't need to tell you about Irad.
Yeah, no, that speaks for itself in the standings. But this is a horse going to be stretching out to this distance for the first time, so that's a bit of a question mark. But he's got more of a sustained run to him, and I think it should play well.
We got a stat on the 6s, the other one from Victor Barboza Jr. Appraisal. This is appraisal. It says, off the Claim on the dirt right here, he's really good. 42 for 108, 39% on the dirt over the past 5 years. So appraisal, never satisfied. Victor Barboza, didn't have many horses running since December. Now they're all coming back. So they've been freshened up. We'll see how they run in this particular spot. So another nice race here. Now, 1 mile and 1/8, as you meant, the tricky distance. These 3-year-olds are starting to stretch out, ready for those classic distances now. And you went with the number 2, Sergeant Pepper, and take it away.
Yeah, and this was a horse that was very heavily bet last time, almost down to even money. $1.6 million purchase. And, we made this point when he ran last time that horses don't know how much they cost, Ron. They just know their job, and that's to run. And I think the 6 furlongs is just too sharp for him. I love the stretch out to 2 turns here today. He's just a very big bodied horse. I saw him yesterday actually at Todd Pletcher's barn, and he's actually in the first stall in his main barn, and his Dame Dorothy was in that same stall. So that just goes to show you how well Todd Pletcher knows this family.
And we got a stat with Todd Pletcher. This is with the second-time starters, sprint the route on the dirt at Gulfstream over the past 5 years. You knew it was going to be good, 30%, almost an even return of investment. So second-time sprinters, that's route to go and sprint the route, and that's exactly what this horse is doing today. I went with the 4 Game Warden. I'm going to go back, and first I'm going to show you the start of this horse trained by Bill Mott. So first we'll pick up the start here, and you can see in that day is the number 9 horse, and just gets the old squeeze play, knocked around, just unbelievable. And I just thought that compromised him. I know it was early on in the race, but now you're going to see this horse just threading through horses, and he's got a tip outside, and I just think he runs very well. Of course, he was compromised with the start, and here he comes through the lane, and I just think, and he's got the 5 horse laying all over him, so we'll see how this horse runs. Second start, who's going better than Bill Mott, who won the stake yesterday. And look at this horse close. And, he really, as you know, being a person that rides horses, he got knocked around pretty good at the start.
Yeah, and with a young horse, you never really know how they're going to respond to incidents like that happening, and he just kept the faith and kept going on with it. You like to see that he took some dirt as well. I can't imagine that he wanted to be that far behind first call, but that's you just have to play with the hands that you're dealt. And Kings Barnes, who won that race, came back to win at Tampa, and that horse is on the Kentucky Derby Trail as well.
Yeah, and number 3, Summer Cause, is debuting locally and stretching out to the 9 furlongs with blinkers added after responding to the addition of Lasix with that second place finish, beating the neck, going a mile 40 on the Tampa main track for Christophe Clement. And you just look who's his horse was third behind 2 starts back, Tapit Trice, who Todd is really high on.
Yeah, and this is another one that I think will really appreciate the extra added distance. Going back and watching that replay from Tampa, just took him a little bit to get going, and then finally once he did, it was just too late. The wire was there already, and no such luck.
Great race to today's race 4. I love when these 3-year-olds start stretching out. You can see who's going to handle those, like I said, those classic distances. So we're going to take a short break. We'll come back, have my Rainbow 6 ticket with $1.2 million gross jackpot guarantee.
This is a championship meet. Yeah. All the best jockeys in the world are here, and I'm excited to ride against them.
We back.
And you get to watch some really incredible, talented athletes out there.
Yeah.
To us, it's a place to be in the winter.
I love Gulfstream Park because of the racing.
The palm trees, the beach is right here. The horse racing is some of the best in the country.
A lot of good horses come out of here. And if you want to go to the next level, Gulfstream Park was the place to come.
I remember the first time I came to Gulfstream, it was like this big fairy tale place. All the history.
Shoemaker sitting perfectly still. He hasn't touched this magnificent colt, and here comes the finish.
And all these great horses, trainers, jockeys. It was everything that I ever dreamed of.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron and Samantha. 1 mile on the turf for claimers 4 and up, $50,000 down to $40,000. Scratch to 5, Carmichael. It is where the Rainbow 6 starts. We will talk about this race. Let's first show you my ticket, $43.20. And you can see I got coverage here in race number 5. I'll talk about my long shot. In the race number 6, I used Biloxi Blues. Affirmative Lady, I think, is going to take all the money in there. I'm not totally sold on that horse. And the 6, Arrow Bolt. 2 for me in race number 7 with the 10, Fly the W, Arad in the Saddle, and Conglomerate. And there's my single today. It comes in race number 9, and it's the 10. And if you cruise through the past performances of this horse, you'll see this one was second to Pizza Bianca at the Hilltop, and I happened to see that race at Preakness weekend there. So I think this one is the one to beat. And then I got some coverage with, I think, the logical 3 with the Naval Officer, Banker's Hours, and Villegas Swing.
It's a nice, solid ticket there. I like your single.
Yeah, so we'll see. I think that horse is going to be bet way down today. We'll see how it plays out. And, we all had, everybody in America had Carl Spackler like yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I got my long shot in here. Now you got to. This horse is going to be a big price. But watch. It's Border Town is the 3. First, I want to show you the start and going into the first turn, and thereabout. You're going to see right there the number. It was the number 2 horse, of course, this day, and just has to keep steadying back. I know it's early on in the race, but just gets in all these different jackpots, a couple of times, and gets pulled back. No space to really run, and then it's going to happen another couple of times. There you see it steady, and it just. I could have followed the race all the way around. It was just this way all the way around. Even further back, we would have seen it. And here, coming to the turn for home. Now, I don't know if this horse had the gumption in there to get a chance to run, but just never really did. Everything closed up. And, I'm looking for a shot, and I didn't think the horse ran that badly. And when it sees a little daylight, seems to close. I'm not frightened of anybody there. Mega City is going to try and do it again, just going wire to wire. But this horse, I thought maybe with a clean trip, and if I can get 20 to 1, I'd like it.
Yeah, no, you make a really great point for that horse. And he's a big horse, so having to consistently check on the rail like that and just grab and lose momentum, that really can knock you off your game.
And the number 8 horse in here, we haven't talked, Mega City Wheels, right back for the $50,000 tag. This is what Mike Maker does. He puts it right back where it belongs. And couldn't do anything wrong with that horse. He just went to the lead and never looked back.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, you go back to all of this horse's previous wins, they all came from the lead. He's not a horse that will pass horses. So if he gets hooked or something else happens, he could be very vulnerable here. But if he gets the lead and nobody's going to go with him, I think it's game over.
What about the number 2, Max KO?
This is an interesting horse here. I like how versatile he is. This is a Florida bred. He's exiting that Sunshine Turf stake here for state breds. And it was a pretty nice effort, just a little above his pay grade, I think. But he has done well in stakes company before. I'm going to give him another shot today.
And the 4 Calibrator goes to the Carlos David barn after the claim, steps up after drawing clear, defeated those open claimers at the 20 level. Yeah. You know how good the barn is with recent claims. You're getting Arad Ortiz Jr. today. So certainly I think it's maybe a little bit of a lateral move, and the barn just does so well. So we both threw it on the ticket. We will now go to race number 6. Similar situation with the horses stretching out today. Mile in the 16th, maiden special weight filly 3-year-olds, and you put a ticket together.
I did, indeed. It's a nice competitive sequence. Using 2 horses in this spot, Affirmative Lady is my top pick here. Race number 7. The 7 is my single of the day, Marty Drexler. His barn's going the right way as well. Race 8, the number 2, Dreamster for Mary Leitner, looking for 3 wins in a row with this horse so far. It's a pretty impressive filly. Race number 9, the 10 is my top pick, and that is Diamond Hands, your single on the Rainbow 6. And in race number 10, this is a tough one here, but the 7 is my pick, Villegas Swing, $36.
$36, very affordable. Getting back to this race, as I mentioned, mile in the 16th for maiden special weight filly 3-year-olds, no scratches in this race. And I did go with the number 8 Biloxi Booze, and I'm going to go back and first show this horse's start and run into the first turn. And when she just gets steadied and gets carried out wide in here, you're going to see from the start, and she is the number 3 and just gets knocked around. You can see it from here, and it, you know, even though the head on, she just gets knocked around and then gets taken out a little bit, just not comfortable in the early going. And you know, just there you can see we're going to pick it up from the 316 pole home. You know, there she is after the trouble start. She's got to tip out. She's got to find a place to run. I just thought she was okay. You know, it's a Joe Allen homebred, daughter of Tappet. It looks like the Tappet out there just keeps running down the stretch. You know, just never had an easy moment in this race and closed very nicely. Ends up finishing 3rd in there. But I thought it was a really, really good performance. And if you see the head on at the start, you could even see more that she just got bopped around in there. So we'll see how that plays. That's Biloxi Booze, the number 8 today. Who else did you use?
I used the number 4 as well. I like Affirmative Lady. That's my top pick. But the number 4, Ocean Club, this is a horse that I think will be a little bit under the radar here for the Tom Proctor barn. Doesn't have a lot of horses here. He keeps them at Palmettos. But this was a nice effort last time. It was a good number as well. Julian Leperoux stays aboard. I think the more distance, the better for this filly.
Yeah, you know, talking about Affirmative Lady, you know, beating the neck went 2nd, and that was in the 9 furlong grade 2 Demoiselle, 2 starts back, tiring 3rd in an overnight stake on 9 panels up north, cuts back to the mile in the 16th with blinkers added. You know, you would think this is the class, perceived class. I'm not sold on this $400,000 daughter of Arrogate. You know, I understand, you know, it's graded stakes place. I'm going to watch one. Not that I didn't use it on my ticket.
Right. Yeah, no, and you make a good point there. We don't really know what she has because she still has yet to break her maiden, but she's been so game in those other races, and the connections obviously have felt in a good way about her every time to run her in these type of spots. But this AMO Racing, that's kind of their MO with these types of horses, and the Lasix goes on today too.
Number 6, Arrow Bolt, is making her first journey around 2 turns today. She stalked the pace, finished a distant, but I thought useful 3rd in a 7 furlong debut. Bill Mott, Joel Rosario is going to jump aboard this afternoon, the daughter of Arrogate, so you know she's going to love the distance.
Yeah, exactly, Will. And it's interesting because she's a very small Arrogate as well. I remember seeing her in the Paddock Lawn debut, and it just but she ran behind Bandita, who was so impressive for Todd Pletcher that day. So you see she's beaten 10 1/4 lengths. It was just because Bandita ran off the screen that day.
Well, let's go to race number 7. It's about a mile 70 on the Topeta starter. Optional claim is 4 and up. Start for 12, 5 or less, or the optional claiming tag of $20,000. Excuse me. Scratch the 5 Racecraft, and Brian put a late pick 4 ticket together.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at it. $24 here is the play. 4 deep in this leg. We'll get to that in just a moment. Race number 8. You Look Cold is the one here. That could be a nice little price. He's also using Dreamster as well as Broadway Force for the Jimmy Jerkins barn. Race 9, that's his single. The 10, Diamond Hands like you as well. I think I'm the only one that used multiple horses in that leg, so I might be the smarter one of both of you or not. Race number 10, 4 deep in the finale here. A couple of nice horses in this race. On the Tapeta 5 furlong sprint, $24.
$24, and he's singling that horse there too today. And you know, as Brian does, he usually looks at my selections
yeah,
first.
That's right. He copies you. Yeah,
before he makes a decision. Just joking around. The 10-5, the W. We'll try and make it 3 in a row. And following that, first he had that open length score going a mile in the 16th. 2 starts back. Game neck victory over a trio of next out winners going this mile, 70-yard distance on the Tapeta last time out. Bobby DeBona, Ira Ortiz Jr.
Yep. I mean, those guys, they know it all. They're very good with everything. And, you know, I have this theory that I'm working on here that horses can't win back-to-back on the Tapeta. Well, this is one of, like, the 5 horses that blows this out of the water. And Brian and I were talking about that earlier with stats of horses coming off winning a Tapeta race last time and doing it again. 2 in a row, that's impressive. 3 in a row, out for me.
Right out. So you single Conglomerate, who's turning back, sharp local return in which he rallied to finish 3rd against those starter handicap runners. And this horse loves this Tapeta. 5 starts, 3 wins.
Yeah, he does. And coming second race off of a little bit of a Woodbine stint. He got the 1 race under his belt going a mile and an 1/8 here. Just a little too far. I think this horse will be nice in this spot.
You used the number 2 horse in 3rd, and that's Mumza.
Mumza, yeah. This is a horse that actually ran really nice in that handicap a mile and an 1/8 that day. And I beat Conglomerate, actually. And, you know, I almost wonder if this maybe is too short. I think Conglomerate, this will play better, and Mumza maybe not so much. But I think for a piece should be okay.
Well, there's the 21 shot today that's probably going to win because I didn't put it on top, and that's Jimmy Toner. So it's Bryce Canyon stepping up the competition, stalked early and drew clear late. Defeated, of course, 12-5-2, 3 lifetime claimers going around 2 turns on the all-weather. And Jimmy Toner, one of my favorite trainers, and we were laughing about this the other day. If I pick him, he loses. If I don't pick him, he wins.
Yeah, Bryce Canyon. This is a cool horse, too. We had him in the Brendan Walsh barn. I used to get on him, and he's just a nice little classy horse. And he really loved the Tapeta. He stepped up big time at the drop-in class, but it's deeper waters here today.
Oh, without a doubt, but that's why you're going to get a good price on this. So there's a horse, man, you know, as I always mentioned, we got tries, we got supers.
Exactly.
You know, why not throw
options.
that horse in there?
Yeah.
Race number 8 this afternoon, 6 furlongs, allowance optional claimer, fillies and mares. 4-year-olds and up with the optional tag is $25,000. No scratches, no jockey changes. We both have interest in the number 2 Dreamster, who gets Lasix today.
Yeah, she does, and she's ran so well in all of her starts, really. But these last 2, I didn't think there was a way that she would win last time, just beating those maiden special weight horses. Not to discredit her in any way, but it's hard to face winners for the first time and come back and win again, and she did. I think Lasix will only move her up, and she's going the right way.
Yeah, Mary Lightner, the trainer, Jose Ortiz, the top, the daughter of Justice Dream. The number 6 is where I went second. Broadway Force is turning back to 3/4. Return from an extended layoff of about 15 months to defeat maiden special weight runners, going 7. I just thought it was a masterful training job by Jimmy Jerkins. Junior Alvarado returns on this daughter of violence.
Yeah, it was very impressive. And again, like I mentioned with Dreamster, it's hard to win facing winners for the first time in this horse career, and that's what she's going to do. But she could be heading the right direction just because off of that, there's no layoff this time to play with, and she's back and ready for action.
The number 4, Rosie's Halo, who went second, is making her first start. She's rallied to defeat those 20,000 state-bred optional claimers.
Yeah, and she was impressive, and that was coming off a bit of a layoff as well. We're kind of getting another one, but with the Saffie Joseph barn, I don't worry too much about things like this. He spots his horses very particularly for these races.
Yeah, Saffie's 21% with the type of layoff and head guard in the saddle. Oh, we've been talking about this horse for a while throughout the day. 7.5 furlongs on the turf, allowance optional claimer. Fillies and mares 4 and up, optional claiming price $25,000. Scratch the 13 and 14. We're going to get what we might already have, and what Pete will be telling us in a couple of moments, a jockey change on the number 7 Regal Realm. So here it is. Diamond Hams, who was second, I'm going to go back and, put the rewind button on and go back to show you just before the 8-pole home. There's Diamond Hams, facing Pizza Bianca, and this was in the Hilltop. I just thought it was a pretty good race. She's the number 6 there, and Pizza Bianca, of course, just a really nice horse. And she fought very bravely to try and hold this horse off at the wire. And, I'm keying off that, but she's run well in subsequent races after that $100,000 allowance at Aqueduct at Belmont or Belmont at Aqueduct, whatever it is.
Yeah, and not a mega key race. I don't even think it's a key race in your book, Ron,
Right.
but 2 winners came out of that race as well to win again that she ran third against. So it flatters her quite a bit here. Todd Pletcher, he's also good with these types of layoffs at Welsh as well. And she's been working really nicely at Palm Beach Downs when you go and watch those work. She's a logical horse here.
The number 7 Regal Realm is making her first start since she surrendered that late lead. She ran good.
Yep. Yeah, she really did. And this is a barn that doesn't run a lot of horses here. And at first was getting the minor awards more than winning, but it's starting to pick up some now. I guess we'll see who the jockey is because it's kind of hard to tell where this horse will be placed. When we know where Pilot Pete will tell us in a minute, and we can dive more into that.
The number 5 Mona Stella is turning back to 7.5 furlongs, rallied strongly to finish second in the 75 Sunshine Filly and Mare Turf for Patrick Biancone. I talk to Andy about this horse all the time. She pulls her hair out. This horse always runs well, just doesn't want to win all the time.
Yep, and that's so frustrating sometimes because this mare, she's got the talent. She just hasn't really found that extra little gear. But today could always be the day.
Yeah, it's a good spot for, optional claimers, 25,000. She ran very, very well. So maybe, as you said, this is the day. And once they usually do it, they go on and run 3, 4 more.
Exactly, yeah. It's like this switch just flips.
Let's go to race number 10, about 5 on the Tapeta. 4 and up, non-winners of 2 in life, 12-5 down to $10,000. And you went with the number 7 horse in there, Villegas Swing.
Yeah, this is one that tried $20,000 company last time on the Tapeta. They claimed this horse for $16,000, so it wasn't necessarily out of the question by any means, but just was not the best that day. Gets in for the 12-5 tag. Irad's aboard here today. Was on him last time as well, and Irad has just really mastered this this pace scenario of these Tapeta sprints. He knows where to be.
The number 8 naval officer moves to the Rashawn Creaky barn after the claim rally 4 wide to finish second, going 5.5 furlongs on the all-weather Tapeta. The barn is 18% with new claims with over a $5 return of investment, keeps the status quo with Miguel Vasquez in the irons. And I just think that this horse, Rashawn doesn't start a lot of horses here. He went to California during the summer. He always does a good job, so I'm going to put this one right on top of my ticket. And then what about the 4 Bankers Hours? Is hoping to bounce back today.
Yeah, those are like the hours you work, right?
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, Paco Lopez aboard here today. He was on this horse 2 starts back, and he was just narrowly defeated that day. You always kind of know what you're going to get with this horse. He tries hard each time. He just hasn't had a win in a little bit. And on the Tapeta, I love that angle.
Yeah, so we'll see how that one runs. And really nice. That's how we see the 10-race card. But we're not done. We've got our award-winning lightning round coming up right now. And what a way to start it off, because we've got the field for the $400,000 Grade 2 Fountain of Youth. And there it is. And the favorite, the 2-year-old champion, Forte, 7-5 on the line.
Yeah, this is going to be a really fun race. He had his penultimate work yesterday, and he came out of it great. Looks good. I saw him yesterday. Spoke with Todd Pletcher. We'll be showing that throughout the week. Just looks incredible. This is going to be a fun horse to watch. But some Rocket Can, we can't ignore that horse too.
Yeah, Blazing Sevens from Chad Brown. It's a really good field.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
it
insane.
is.
You got the 2-year-old champ in there. So, you got to get this next Saturday. So we got 9 stakes, including this race. So you got to get your tickets for Fountain of Youth Day. And it is next Saturday. And there to see. Tickets are on sale right now. And boy, what a card. We drew it last night.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really fantastic. The smallest field, I think, in the stakes is 9 or something. Of all the different stakes, we got a couple with 12, so it's going to be a fantastic day. And then we have your best bet, which is going to make our day fantastic.
I hope so here. won't be a good price, but Papa Cats, let's see if I can get a go with him for the last time.
Well, speaking about not being a good price, I think this horse is Diamond Hand 7-2 on the morning line. If we get 7-2, I'll be running to the window. We'll see how that works out. Your long shot today?
I lost him today.
Oh, you lost him
Yeah.
today? I got that bomber that I'm trying 15-1 with Bordertown.
Not
see
out
if
of
I
the
can-
question.
No, just needs a trip.
Yeah.
There's nothing scares me in there.
Yeah.
And Mega City got the perfect trip last time out.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen that easily. And, then we had a really nice performance yesterday by Candyman Rocket from Bill Mott. And it just seems every week Bill Mott is in the winner's circle with the stakes horse. They went fast early, and he just sat there, and it drew off in the stretch so impressively.
Yeah, he really did. It was nice, and it took him a while to switch his lead. So he didn't switch until a little after the 8th pole, and then he just evened out nicely. And Bill Mott, he's got his hands full with sprinters because Elite Power yesterday in Saudi was amazing as well.
Yeah, so he's Bill just having his fantastic meet,
Yeah.
and there you saw it. So that's how we see everything. We're going to turn it over momentarily to Pete Aiella with all the scratches and changes, and of course joined throughout the day with Brian. I think Claudia will be with us.
Yeah.
You and I certainly are going to be here, so we'll be back in just a little while.
Introducing the first racing tool from Pegasus to Preakness. Iconic venues. World-class racing. Millions at stake. New champions will be crowned. Only at first.